I will not make any deals with you. I've resigned. I will not be pushed, filed, stamped, indexed, briefed, debriefed, or numbered. My life is my own.
Hello. Welcome to Channel 6. I am your host. I'm going to be building a new piece of hardware to hopefully live stream from. My old hardware is getting a little long in the tooth. My game system has a core from 2008 and my main system has a core from 2013. And I'm about a year behind in upgrading. So today I'm going to put together a system that hopefully has the GPU and CPU power to use my slow internet connection. And we shall see that here. Going over to the build screen now. Doink. I'm going to have to go and get some stuff. I've got my core tool here, Swiss Army knife. I don't know how long I've been using them. If I had them before MacGyver came on TV, but after it was on TV, I definitely had to have one. It's going to be a lot of me walking around and making mic noises in the mic, so I'm not going to bother to mute it every time. I'm just going to start grabbing hardware. I'll get the tool of choice out. This was the component that I had trouble ordering because I was looking at one on Newegg and my friend's like, oh, just get this. And while it was in the shopping cart and I was checking something else, I was doing some research for an hour and I went back and it was just gone. I don't know if these companies actually monkey around with products to do more sales, create like what I would call artificial scarcity. Say like, oh, we're out of this. You better grab another more expensive one. But I went to Amazon and got one. And throw that around. I'm only waiting for one component, and it's just a KVM. It's a little bit more power supply than I was going to get, but I hit the mic, and I'm not planning on upgrading for some time to come. I'm hoping, wow, this is something they actually have under the foam. A piece of, you can't see it. Is that? I can't get anything more in that camera anyways. I don't need the keyboard. I'm all set up. And now, my main problem is this isn't a work area here. You can see the little cloth. I don't know what just fell. So this power supply actually has like a toolkit. This is actually kind of nice. I wish some of the other ones had done this. It's got all the cables. Because any more of these fully modular ones come with just a ton of stuff. And I'm sure I'm going to need some of these to install all the goodies that I have. It's wild that it comes with, and I'm probably going to bump all kind of stuff into the mic. It's wild that, don't need one of these. It's wild that it comes with a little kit. And, like a cover. You can't leave that on it. It's just extra cloth. Oh, well, we've already got a Thermaltake sticker missing. This is pretty nice. I was going to get a 750 watt. That's what's in my old system. It's got a GeForce 1060 in it. But I actually couldn't find one. And I'm not entirely sure how I'm going to Smart Zero fan. Oh, that's interesting. On. The fan does not operate if the power supply is at low loads. I kind of like that. Off. Silent fan operation. Oh, I like silent fan operation even more. And now the main challenge that... When did that get down there? Now, I don't have a workbench. Now watch as everything just goes all over the place. My workbench is actually behind my monitor. Back, that way. Behind all this. So that makes it challenging. So I got a power supply. Set it some way that it's not jinky. I got into MSI motherboards. I've had a couple of Asus motherboards, one of which I had to refurb. I've had some old motherboards, Celeron and now mostly Celeron before they messed with it. My favorite processor probably of all time was the Celeron 300A, which you could readily overclock from 300 to 450. And the most powerful Pentium 2 at the time, the equivalent, the expensive processor, was a 400. And it had more cache, but it didn't have it on the die. And the Celeron had a lot less cache, but it was on the die. And it overclocked, so it actually performed better than the Pentium 2. And when they made more of them, they made sure you couldn't overclock them, which I thought was kind of rude. And on top of that, now there are components underneath this I might need. Did I already get something out? There's a couple of weird little things down in here. On top of that, they went, I got a Celeron 400 when I toasted my 300, and I got a dual processor. When they came out with the Celeron 2, they killed the dual processor support. So I never bought another Intel processor to this day. And that was like 2000, 2001. Okay, we have an MSI Gaming Eng. It cost about another 50 to 80 over the model below it, but it's got built-in Wi-Fi. And built-in Bluetooth, so hopefully that'll be an advantage. It's a pretty nice looking motherboard. I like how they put this metal shield on here. I'll have to read up on it. This is a sticker that has to come off. Oh, there's stickers all over the place. I'm sure those have to be taken off for the heat. I'm just going to stick them on the box. Probably the easiest thing to put in is the memory. And my friend said that it only needed about 32 gig. My old system was 32 gig though. It used to have 16, and then I discovered I needed more to run Minecraft. Minecraft can, once you get into mods, it's a real resource hog. I wonder if I have any music I could play while we do this. So, doink. I really need somewhere to put all the packaging. I guess I'll drop it into the Thermaltake box. A lot of computer hardware sometimes fascinates me. Ooh, how do you go in there? I know it's so. It's got to be that way. I already checked some of this. There we go. A few years ago, there was some system that I bought memory for before the memory prices shot up. And like a year and a half later, the memory was like 20 bucks. And that would happen. you wait long enough and prices would go way down because they wanted to sell off all the old stock once people stopped using it. But then a few interesting things happened. The first one I remember was in 2005, the floods in Malaysia. I think it was 2005, drove up hard drive prices like crazy. I had got a 1 terabyte for $80, and a couple months later it was up to 140 something. And it took a few years for it to come back down, and by the time it did, there was like newer drives that had more capacity. I think I went to 2 terabyte. I might have bought the 2 terabyte. I went to 4 terabyte. Okay, memory modules are in. It'll be interesting to see how this CPU works. Pretty simple. Put in the memory, put in the CPU, plug in the video card, connect the power, connect the video to the output. Now, one thing that I got to see, I realized I've got an old 19-inch monitor from like 99 or 2000 when I replaced 2 tube monitors. And I've got a 38-inch TV monitor. Actually looks pretty good. I think it'll do all right. But it'd be sure nice to have a 4K, wouldn't it? It's a gaming system, after all, for streaming. I think it's likely all I'm going to do tonight is the unboxing, basic setup, and just leave this set somewhere safe. Twink. Oh, I broke the seal. I can't send it back now. I forget what product it is. Once you open it, you can't send it back. Does it come with thermal paste? Here's the CPU. Comes with a sticker. The thermal paste should be pre-installed on the heatsink as long as I don't have to redo it, because I'm out of thermal paste. I wonder if the mic, that will, making sure I discharged all static. I like to do that before I pop open a new multi-$100 CPU. I've been building computers a long time. I think the first time I did it was in 94, 95 maybe. No, I think it would have been 94. It's amazing to me how much they changed the first 5 or 10 years, and now we've had very similar things for a while. One of these had some kind of thing, but I guess I've got all these stickers. I'm going to have to dig them out and actually like stick them on something where you can see them while I'm streaming. Although I'm thinking about going open case or no case and doing a custom rig. I don't know if I want to install the fan, because I've heard that the heatsink is challenging, and I kind of want to get to know how it goes before I commit to the thermal compound. Yes, it has thermal compound. Fan, 2 fan cords. Like maybe it's got a spare. Does it have a dual plug? No. But what's this? Interesting. It does have an extra thing. I guess that's just like the socket. I remember when you turned the power on, the fan came on, and I had these orange fans that were Volcano 9s. And I had a dual processor Athlon MP1200. And those fans sounded like just a small jet taking off. When that thing came on, you knew it. And the one consequence was after that, I always insisted on getting the quietest fans that I could. And that's the only thing I don't know about this cooler. I get like these super quiet things that have an oversized fan. but they have a super quiet cooler. Now, how does this bad boy... Oh, there we are. It doesn't look super complex. It looks like the standard deal. One thing that I don't know is which orientation it's meant to have. It might not matter. I'm actually going to have to consult the manual to see where the CPU fan header is. Yep, now I can see it. They don't have all the printing the same level of white. And I hear a kitty. Where you going, kitty? My kitty's name is Chitin. I had this thought that I could take a camera and follow the cat around and probably have a better money-making stream than just doing video games or whatever I'm interested in. I think I'll make a sub-channel for the cat. Doesn't sound like, sounds like a decent idea. Well, does it give me a record time? Yes, it does. 16 minutes. I think we might call it a night for here. I've got some other stuff to do. Got some things I gotta look up. Oh, here we go. Is there a way to install the fan? The heat sink. Tells you how to install a video card. That's not. Hey, watch yourself. Check yourself there. These manuals amaze me because let's see where the English portion of this manual ends. It shows you how to plug the fan. The fan actually has, oh, one's power for the fan and one's power for the lights. I understand. That's why there's two power cables. That right there in my hand is the English section of the manual. I would think you could save some paper if you knew where it was being sent. Like you could have English boxes and other speakers and save a good bit of paper. Because I'm never going to read. It's got to be about 3/4 of the manual. But who am I? What do you want, little kitty? Here's a guide. Put the CPU in. Important. 1, 2, the numbers. Where are the things? I'm going to think that the clip is oriented. I can't see the CPU on this. The way I think it is. Quick start. No text, because who's going to take the time to read that? Changing the processor. CPU heatsink. Yeah, you need that these days. I think the last was 486s didn't need a heatsink, and then the early Pentiums had a fanless aluminum finned heatsink, and then after the Pentium 100, Pentium 50, 75, and 100, after that they've all had heatsinks. The funkiest one to put a heatsink on is probably the Pentium 2 because it's like a whole cartridge. Headers. I don't see anything about the orientation of this fan on the hardware. But I think I'm going to look at that in the morning. Put this back in its box. I like this little box. Put that back together. Put it somewhere safe. kitty, huh? Well, the only other major component I have, I'm missing a mouse. The only other major component, I wonder when that got knocked down, that I have is the video card. I love that sound. The video card. Oh, my mouse does a weird thing. Look at this. I didn't know it did that. Get the cat hair out. That is something else. There's a video card. Doink. So I will do that tomorrow. I need to find something to mount this on, like a little thing, and I want to put the hard drives underneath of it and just run cable down to them. And I'm going to leave this thing setting, maybe even something where it would, somewhere where it would be in view of the stream camera. I think that'd be pretty cool, but I don't know where I'm going to do that. I will have to see how it goes. That's it for tonight. 21 minutes. Let us transition out. Got my exit music ready. Take care, everybody. It's getting late. Take care, everybody. Be seeing you. You have a great night. I'll talk to you later.